And this is our final time check. The network will go silent for the final 1 minute. Husker Sports Network programming begins in 1 minute.
This is the Nebraska Men's Basketball Radio Show, presented by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
By Akeem Hart.
Here comes Griesel into the front court, on the floor with 4 fouls. Cada to Walker from come on down screen, a 35-footer. Casey got it! Bang! 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 Savage! CBA 3 by Casey. Wilcher, drop step, left-handed layup, way off the mark, rebound to Wilcher. Wilcher gives it to Griesel, a minute 30 to go in OT. Nebraska down by 1. 64-63, Griesel with the basketball, drives the ball all the way to the hoop, puts it up, and in! Holy smokes! Holy cow! Sam Griesel puts Nebraska ahead by 1. Drives the ball down the lane line, out to Tominaga, shoots the 3. No, got it! He got it! He got it! Huskers take the lead for the first time in this sucker. It's 48-47. On a CBA 3 by Tominaga, his script of the game.
A 20-2 run by the Huskers.
Gives it up top, straight away top of the circle to Walker, working on Amore, crossover dribble on the take, and the left-handed layup. Got it! Derek Walker! Nebraska's up a dozen.
Wow.
74-62. 3:26 left to go.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. What a weekend it was inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. A Husker hoop sweep with the men taking care of business with a win over Minnesota on Saturday. The women with a win over Northwestern on Senior Day on Sunday. We've got a full 2 hours of hoops talk headed your way. Amy Williams, Matt Coatney will be in for hour number 2 starting at 7 o'clock. But here in our first hour from 6 till 7, we're going to talk a little Nebraska men's hoops with assistant coach Nate Loenser. 4 in a row, 5 of the last 6. Man, how much fun has this stretch been for you guys?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, obviously. These guys have been going at it hard, really since last June. And, it's kind of almost been a tale of 3 seasons. The beginning of the year without Derek, and then the middle stretch when we had everybody, and then after we lost those 2 guys for the season, it's been neat to see some new guys step up and just fulfill some different roles, and obviously it's just great to see the guys get some success. Obviously some on the road, but it's been a neat crescendo, especially at home too, just with some of these home games and a chance to be able to spend some fun victories with our fans is always just makes it a lot of fun.
402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the show with a text or a call for Coach Loenser. Yeah, we were talking before we started the show. The last time you were on, I guess, was right after Halloween, because we were talking about trick-or-treating with Sam Griesel and your kids. So you think about how different this team is from the last time you were on the show to where it is now. How have the adjustments been, too? I mean, Coach Hoiberg has been on here and really bragged on the staff and how you guys have, it's almost like a completely different team and a different approach that you guys have to take to game planning. So what's it been like for you being a part of the staff and having to adjust with this team and how it is now?
Yeah, there's been a lot of adjustments, but then there's also, the core values, the standards that this team set, the leadership that's been in place, guys like Sam Griesel, Derek Walker, and then even some of our guys that have been injured, like Emmanuel Vandemel, and just the core of some of those guys, just their experience has been able to weather some different times within the season. And to your point too, I mean, I talked to you a little bit before too. I've spent a lot of time with Fred, and we've coached together for a long time, and we've had a lot of games together, a lot of years together. And you know, Fred has a way of figuring out his team and bringing the best out of his guys, and I've seen it time after time. And his ability to adjust, his ability to, you know, he doesn't probably get the credit he deserves as a grinder himself, just to figure out how to make these guys as successful as possible. And I give Coach all the credit in the world, and I give our players all the credit in the world too, for being able to adjust and to make the most of everybody's abilities and to stay together.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, he had talked about how he was talking to the guys about, hey, believe, and even when, you know, Emmanuel and Juwan go down and people were saying, oh, what could have been, and he was saying what could still be. So what was the approach from this team about not believing, I guess, and staying locked into what still could happen? When did you guys see that, okay, or did it ever go away, that, hey, we still could do something special?
Well, there's that element. I mean, Fred is, you know, an eternal optimist too, and he's always going to err on the side of seeing the positive. He's going to stay calm in the midst of adversity. I mean, that's how he coaches. That's how he approaches life. His competitive nature is off the charts, but his composure is really admirable, and I've witnessed it firsthand for so many years. And I think, you know, just the base that was built throughout the summer, guys being able to take some hard coaching, some accountability, taking some direction, and then being able to adjust. Fred staying with it, teaching guys, coaching guys, our whole staff staying with it, you know, not taking any days off and taking things a day at a time, and just knowing where we're at, staying in the moment, and just attacking each and every day and staying within the process.
You talked about how much time that you've coached with Coach Hoiberg. Where does this season compare to some of the seasons you've coached with him in the past? Because, I mean, some of the teams that you had at Iowa State, you had some veteran guys, a lot of players that went on that are still playing in the NBA. But this year and all the adversity that you've gone through, and some of the guys that have stepped up, Sam Breezel moves in, just where does this season compare with some of the seasons that you've coached with Fred?
That's a great question. I just... Again, this is one that usually it seems like there's been, I mean, there's always ends up being a theme afterwards, and I think there's an element of, I'm still waiting to see how the script unfolds as well, before I truly look at it. I mean, I think there's you know, the natural tendency is to reflect on, you know, how far these 29 games or whatever that we've played. But with that being said, I mean, everybody's focus right now within the program is on Michigan State tomorrow night, and just taking this thing one day at a time, dealing with shoot around tomorrow and preparation tonight and into tomorrow, and then we'll worry about what's next after that. With that being said, I just think each and every season has been rewarding for me personally and professionally, but on a personal note, I'm very proud of Fred, just because he did change some things. He's adjusted, and he's, in my opinion, you know, reaping some of the benefits of just being the person that he is and the leader he is, and it's just been neat to see the rewards for him as well, because I just think the world of him.
Well, let's talk the win over Minnesota, 78-67. You had 6 guys in double figures, but how about Jamarcus Lawrence and the way he started that ball game? Yeah,
he really, you know, he had a tough game the game before, even though we were able to win it against Maryland, but he did not play his best game. And, you know, I think people sometimes forget he is our only real true freshman that is playing. But with that being said, we've asked him not to act like a freshman. You know, he's got to the point where he obviously his role has increased greatly, but we need him, and we need him to play both ends of the court. I'm going to start talking defensively. I mean, we put him on Jamison Battle, who is one of the toughest covers in our league, and he has the ability to make 3 threes in 3 possessions. He's bigger. He's 6'7". He can really shoot the ball, and he can really open up everything that especially Minnesota was trying to do. And we put him on him to begin the game, and he did a just fantastic job of making his touches difficult, making his shots difficult, following the game plan, and I couldn't be prouder of him for taking that challenge. I mean, that's a veteran guy who's been in college basketball, played way more games than him, so first and foremost for him to be able to do that says a lot. And he stepped up with confidence, you know, from the first possession of the game. Drills a 3. He played confidently. He didn't hesitate, and you know, I mean, it just kind of is he mirrors our team in a lot of ways. That, you know, there might be some up and downs, but he has a way of fighting through it and staying with it and staying confident, and he showed that, and he helped us on Saturday.
We've talked about his defense with Coach Hoiberg and a bunch on this program, but was he always good from the moment he stepped on campus? Did you guys see that he could be potentially a big help for you guys on the defensive end, or was that something that grew once he got here? Because a lot of high school kids don't have to play that defense like that, I guess is what I'm getting at.
No, to JaMarcus's credit, I thought he stepped on campus with a very serious demeanor. I thought he had a steady beginning. I think it's always tough to anticipate a true freshman coming into the Big Ten and playing meaningful minutes and much less starting. And obviously, you know, in June, if you would have told me where we're at today, you know, that would have been a tough task. But with that being said, I do think there was a level of encouragement, especially from our staff, from his approach starting in the summer. Now, he, like most freshmen, had some up and down days and battled some consistency, but he was very coachable. He took accountability. Once again, he took some hard coaching, especially early. And to your point, the adjustment of you know, in his mind, playing harder than he ever had in his life, but yet understanding how hard he would have to play to compete in the Big Ten level, and he was able to take that. He was a diligent worker with his film study, taking correcting and all those things. So with that being said, I think there was a level of you know, hope, and there was a level of positive surprise out of him. But you know, it's just been cool to see. You know, he's been a steady guy from the beginning. He's worked on his game. He's got his extra work, and it's paying off for him.
Casey Tominaga broke a streak of, was it 5 straight or 6 straight 20-point games? Still had double figures, 11 points, but his parents were in attendance. What was that like for you guys to have them there? I know they seem to really enjoy their time inside Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Yeah, it's so easy to take for granted. You know, that Casey's parents had never been here, never been in Lincoln, never seen their son play live. You know, I'm fortunate my parents went to a lot of my games, you know, local. You look at, you know, that's part of the reason why Sam's here. He gets to have his parents here, and they're right here, and he's got all his friends and family around. Not that they didn't travel to North Dakota State, but you're talking about traveling, you know, across the ocean. And for his parents, you know, you sneak a peek or you see it afterwards, just his parents being on the video board or some of the camera things, and they've just been smiling from ear to ear the whole time. Casey's just such a positive person, and he's kind of that beam of light anyways, but you could just even see him floating a little bit even more, and it's just been cool to see him get to feel the love from our fans. And then I can't imagine as a parent for them to feel the ovation with him on Saturday, and it's just been a cool moment for his whole family.
I feel like you and Casey are on the same wavelength as far as bringing the energy to the court and exuding that joy. I mean, Coach Hoiberg mentioned that the other day. If you've watched our coaching staff on the bench, you know Coach Loenser, he's the one a lot of times being very animated over there. So I feel like you kind of match in that area with Casey, and just the how much you display, how much you love being out there on the court.
Yeah.
Did you celebrate shots when you played the way that Casey does?
Yeah, that's an interesting observation, and even from Coach. Like I appreciate each and every day, and it is an honor to get to coach for a living. It is an honor to, I'm looking right past you at the end, and just being able to represent this university, this fan base. Besides my family, there's nothing more important to me, and that's trying to impact these kids, seeing where these guys have come from, getting to see them perform on that stage in front of a bunch of people that are spending their hard-earned money, taking their family, sitting with their family. Because I guess I just remember my parents. We sat in the upper deck at Iowa State basketball games growing up. I went to my first NBA game with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'll never forget, my mom circled the arena at the Target Center. It was the second game at the Target Center, and my dad and I scalped tickets for a Bulls Timberwolves game. And I just remember being that 10-year-old boy next to my dad, and all right, can we get the tickets? No. Can we get the tickets? No. And then literally in the 11th hour, we get 2 tickets instead of 3. My mom doesn't go into the game. She stays out, so that way my dad and I can have that moment. We go in the upper deck, and I get to watch my first NBA game. And I always reflect back to how I get to sit now on the floor and get to sit in that seat, and the level of importance it is, and you never know when it's going to be taken away. And we tell our players the same thing. You look at Emmanuel Bandamel, who's doesn't get to play anymore in that arena, or Jawan Gary this year, and I just try to attack each and every day the same way. And how it comes out, I never know. I think my wife marvels, because she thinks I'm pretty cool, calm, and collected, but there's maybe a switch that goes on, especially when the juice and the adrenaline's going. And with that being said, I think what's been cool to see with Casey is, everybody gets excited about his shots and what he does offensively, but I've coached him as hard as anybody defensively this year. And I've been very direct with Casey as an example, and I'm big on playing the game the right way, and we talk about respect in 94, and when we step on that court, playing all parts of the game, because I think that's what our fan base wants. I think that's what our university expects, and ultimately I think that's the way the game should be played. That's how I was taught, and I've been on him about his rebounding. I've been on him about his defense, and people celebrate when he makes threes. I celebrate when he gets rebounds and when he blocks out. I think it was the Maryland game where he had the 2 over the backs that he had, and we've talked a lot about him being more physical and getting the most out of who he is as a player. And to me, that's what coaching is about and teaching is about, is just looking at each and every individual and trying to get the most out of them, and then celebrating with them is obviously something that's a lot of fun.
That is very awesome. All right, on that note, let's work in our first break here on our Nebraska Men's Basketball Show. Again, 402-413-2400. If you want to be a part of the show tonight, the Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime, with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back with more with Coach Loenser coming up right after this.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
You ain't This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. Like the Ford F-150 or the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger pickups. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. Based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Baseball season has arrived, and your local Cenex has all your favorite snacks and beverages for the game. So whether you're hitting the road for an away game, headed to Haymarket Park, or going to cheer on your favorite local team, make Cenex your destination for top quality fuel, your favorite snacks, and service from a local smile. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally at Cenex.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS. Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to our Nebraska Men's Basketball Hour, I'm Jessica Coody with assistant coach Nate Loenser. Well, I'm not sure if you heard this, but I guess Kent Pavelka, Jake Muehlheisen went crazy after the Maryland win, and we're saying that Sam Hoiberg's nickname is now the governor, because the governor is bigger than the mayor, which you are obviously very familiar with. Coach Hoiberg, his days back to being called the mayor at Iowa State. But, man, how big has Sam Hoiberg been for you guys?
He's been phenomenal. I mean, it's just, I had him and his brother Charlie at Iowa State basketball camps, and I think they were in 2nd or 3rd grade, and we had to kick them out of camp because they were getting in tussles about competitiveness and things like that. So it's always nice when the boss's kids have to be kicked out of camp for a while. Now it was Fred that kicked him out, luckily, and not myself, so that was good. But
so he had to be kicked out of camp.
no, they had to. Yeah, they had to be. That was. And actually, I even thought I had it wired too, because I ran coaches camps for a couple of years at Iowa State, and one of my best friends was the commissioner of their age division and all that. And I was like, look, you can't. I need you to referee the game. I need you to make sure that everything goes smooth and all that. And it's still, I mean, I thought we had it completely bubble wrapped. But that just goes to show you, obviously, Sam's competitiveness and his brother Charlie. And, you know, life kind of fast forwards a little bit. We go to Chicago, and, you know, it's tough. He's living in a different part of town, and you're pretty immersed in the NBA season. And then I'm still in Chicago, and so I didn't really get to see Sam much in high school other than random, you know, clips or game film or highlights and things like that. And, you know, COVID was going on, so just in general it was hard to watch. And when Sam, you know, the first summer that I got to work with Sam when he came on campus as a walk-on, you know, he had some tools. He had the drive. He had all that. But like, there was a lot that if you could understand how much better he's got from today, from that point, just in the time that I've seen him, at least with my own eyes. You know, Fred obviously has seen him his whole life and things like that. But you know, he's been a worker since day one. I give him all the credit in the world. It's not easy being the coach's son, and he's done a great job of navigating that in 2 seasons. I give him all the credit in the world. But he as well, like, you know, I do a lot with the scout team, and he was on the scout team last year as a redshirt, and we put our guys in the scout team in different positions. You know, there's a level of development we try to do within our scout team, and I like to have Cale Jacobson play the point guard. Maybe he's Baylor Shireman and he's got to take a bunch of shots, and a guy like Cale doesn't want to shoot. So I force him to do that. So the same thing with Sam last year. We put him at point sometimes. We put him in a shooter's role. We put him in a driver's role. Just throughout the year, it just kind of organically happens. And the thing that I think Sam really, really took off with, especially this summer, has he really bought into the defensive side of the ball. And again, we restructured a lot of things starting last June, but he was as diligent as anybody. He watched his clips from practice. He watched whatever film sessions, whatever individual film he could get, and he asked the question, and he learned our defense inside and out. And you know, for a player or a kid that, you know, is born from arguably one of the best shooters of our time, to buy into that defensive end and realize that, hey, this may be a niche somewhere down the road, and whether he did or didn't, but it made him a complete player. I mean, he was one of our best charge takers over the summer. He would stick his nose in there. We talked about being the first to floor was one of our big mottos this summer, and not being the second one or not to jump on the pile, but being the first to hit the floor. And he bought into that from day one. And, you know, just to see his maturation throughout the whole thing, and to stay ready, and then when his number was called, just to, you know, just bust through the doors and just play the right way. Didn't force anything, just stayed who he was in the moment, which is, as you know, it's a little different doing it in Hendricks and then doing it out at, you know, PBA in front of 15,000, not to be caught up in it. But that just goes to show you, when you play hard and when you're about the right things and your heart's in the right place, then good things happen. And it's just been neat to see him make winning plays for us, make absolutely winning plays for us time and time again, and just kind of roll with the punches.
Safe to say Sam's a better defender than Fred?
I'm not going to get in the middle of that at all. So, Fred, like I said, I'm going to stop. I know that's a sensitive subject. I'm not even going to get anywhere near that. So,
you'd mentioned Cale Jacobson, and that's the third or fourth time I've heard his name come up. And just again, the time on the scout team, how much you can grow in that area. So some guys coming in, everybody wants to play right away, but how much can you take away from seeing some of these guys and how much they've been able to grow by attacking their jobs and their roles on the scout team the way these guys have?
Well, Cale's just an example of what it means to be a Husker. He just, Sam Griesel, Cale Jacobson, you have two, and then obviously Sam Hoiberg, but you got three guys from Nebraska. But Cale specifically, just a great human. Who happens to be a great basketball player. From up the road, had a tough knee injury in high school, didn't get a chance to maybe be on the recruiting scene like he probably should have been, played for a very good local AAU team, but didn't get a chance to play, missed the whole summer because of a knee injury. And honestly, very close to about this time last year, you see he's been playing well. He's playing on a smaller stage and all that, but just see the numbers that he's putting up, doing the things that he's doing, and went and checked him out and got to know him better, got to know his family better, and just had some things fall into place where he ultimately decided to take a chance on coming here, and he just has bought into everything that we want this thing to be about. And he brings it every day on the scout team. He is an everyday guy. There's just he's a rock. He's a steady rock as a human. And with that being said, he's taken advantage of this redshirt year. He's taken advantage of this scout team role that he's been, and like I said, he's been playing the point, playing the 2, playing the 3. He'll play the 4. He's played all the way up through the 5. He was Garcia from Minnesota, and he's one of those. Used to be glue guy. Now in the NBA they call it connector. He's one of those connector type of guys, and he makes people around him better. He knows who he is. He's very honest with himself. Doesn't miss a day, works hard, and he just I'm excited for his future, but I'm so thankful that he's a part of our program.
First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com, member FDIC. Bill in Portland, Oregon wants to know the status of Oleg. How's he coming along?
Oleg, we talked about Casey, but Oleg's parents are here for the first time as well, and Oleg's parents came in, I believe, on Friday. They were able to witness as well PBA's environment, and Oleg played 6 minutes on the Saturday and played 6 huge minutes. Took a charge against one of the better low post players in the country, or in our conference right now, and Pharrell Payne. His size affected Minnesota's bigs, and that was a big concern of ours. Minnesota had battled some injuries, and they had pretty much everybody at full strength this weekend, and to Coach Johnson's credit, he had those kids playing really hard, and he continues to do, but their greatest strength was the front court, and with Blaze being out, we needed Oleg, and Oleg came in and helped us. Derek shoulders a lot already, so to have some more of those big minutes at the 5 was huge. Oleg is another everyday guy. He spent a lot of time with me on the scout team last year and even this year. He's a throwback type of guy. He's appreciative of whatever coaching he gets, and we're just thankful that he's a part of this program.
I heard Oleg and Casey have a fun relationship.
Yeah, they've got the little one-on-one stuff and things like that. They don't play enough defense on each other, so I'm not quite as excited about all that. Casey kind of has a good relationship with about everybody. So, but no, they it's typical. Every guard wants to be a big, every big wants to be a guard, so they get to share those moments together or after practice, and I think it just kind of also this team. You asked the question about the years with with Fred that I've had, but I've been on a lot of different teams. This team gets together very well, and I know that's not necessarily 100% necessary, but you can definitely see the chemistry with these guys. You can definitely see that they, even though some guys maybe are better friends than others, it's not a cliquish group at all. They work together, they prepare together, and ultimately they play together, and it's been a fun group to be around.
All right, got to work in another break here on our Nebraska men's basketball show. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Back with more with Coach Loenser coming up right after this.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. UNL has been awarded over $14 million by the U.S. Department of Commerce to expand robotics research and teaching spaces, part of a $25 million award given to the state of Nebraska to advance robotics research. The funding will allow the university to educate and train the next generation of Nebraska workers, entrepreneurs, and innovators for careers of the future.
The mark, rebound to Wilcher. Wilcher gives it to Griesel. A minute 30 to go in OT. Nebraska down by 1. 64-63. Griesel with the basketball. Drives the ball all the way to the hoop. Puts it up and in! Holy smokes! Holy cow! Sam Griesel!
Hey Husker fans, tomorrow join Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen at 7 p.m. as they begin their pregame coverage in preparation for a matchup against the Michigan State Spartans. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimated CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always click or call 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Got a couple more segments here left on our Nebraska men's basketball show with Nate Loenser, and then we'll have Matt Coatney, Amy Williams coming up at the top of the hour for our Nebraska women's basketball show. Well, Senior Day coming up. It's hard to believe it's already Senior Day. Celebrated Senior Day at the women on Sunday, Senior Day with the men on Tuesday. The season has just flown by, but honoring 4 seniors, Sam Griesel, Derek Walker, Emmanuel Bandamel, and Casey Tominaga. He still has a year of eligibility left, has a decision to make if he wants to utilize that COVID year, but he's going to be honored on Tuesday. Just this group, I mean, all different kind of chapters and journeys, but how important they've been to this program. And can you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, we hit on it a little bit earlier, especially Sam, Emmanuel, Derek, and even Casey too. There's a level of they just bought into the culture change, and with all the changes, with all the rigors of a normal college basketball season, and being in the premier conference in the country, like, you have to have some steady leadership. And we talk about coach led but player driven, and those guys, I've talked to especially like Sam Griesel and Emmanuel Bandamel, like, and I should say all of them. I mean, all of them, but like those two specifically, they came from winning programs and came in here and really, in my opinion, turned a lot too. Because Derek and Casey had been here, but those two specifically, came here and really bought into the coaches, bought into the vision, bought into what this place could be, and have kept things moving in the right direction. And even when you have some of those blips in the road and things like that, they've kept everybody in line that way, and it's allowed Derek to step hand in hand with them. There was a lot of times we felt like Derek was kind of on his own in some ways too, and for him to have someone else, to be a sounding board up here as well. I mean, it's just been neat to see the relationships those guys have formed and the leadership they've provided. And it's, it's going to be an emotional night, obviously, tomorrow night with those 4 guys, and it always is. But what they've done has been really bigger than basketball for this program, and we can't thank them enough.
I thought it's been neat to see the relationship between Derek and Sam. We've seen it all year long, and then they had a press conference together the other day. I know a lot of people were enjoying seeing their interaction, but you think about Derek and coming in and having to go through the COVID year and go through the ups and downs of waiting to win, and then Sam Griesel, the hometown kid, comes back. It's just, kind of a storybook ending for both of them to be able to finish the way that they have here. And I know that they're not done yet, and they're not satisfied with where it is, but for them to have the success here at the end of the season, it's pretty storybook, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool to see, 2 boys / men, just have, like you said, that camaraderie, and you see it on the court. You see with how they play, you see with how they interact, and that's what's cool about sports, right? That's what's cool about college athletics. 2 maybe optically very different people from different backgrounds, from different areas, from different, it does all walks of life, and to become brothers in a locker room and to go to battle each and every day, whether it's on the practice court or in some of these tough environments, or get to share that stage together. It's just, it's a good reminder of how competitive sport can bring all sorts of people together, and it's been cool to see them lead together.
Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavor abilities. All right, got one final segment with Coach Loenser. If you have any texts or phone calls, you got one final segment to get in with him, or you can get those in for Amy Williams coming up in hour number 2. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400, that number to call or text.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Experience a better kind of used vehicle with Woodhouse Chevrolet when you shop our certified pre-owned inventory. Take advantage of our current certified pre-owned specials and save at Woodhouse Chevrolet. Receive 0.9% APR for 36 months or 3.9% APR for 60 months on select certified pre-owned vehicles. Explore our certified pre-owned inventory at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa, or online anytime at WoodhouseGM.com. Find new roads when you shop at Woodhouse Chevrolet. WAC TTL West GM Financial expires 3/31/2023.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Protect your empire. Rule your fields with dual modes of action. Low use rate Authority Supreme herbicide from FMC combines Group 14 and Group 15 modes of action for pre-plant and pre-emergence control of key broadleaf weeds and grasses. A preventative application keeps your fields clean when it matters most to crop productivity. Visit your FMC retailer or ag.fmc.com to learn more. Always read and follow all label directions.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Our final segment here with Nate Loenser in our Nebraska men's basketball show. Amy Williams, Matt Coatney coming up in hour number 2. Got a text for you on our text line. And from Bob and Lincoln, great job of switching up defenses this year. Is that you and Adam combining on the strategy? We were just talking about that in the break. You guys, you have some heck of defensive statistics that you have this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've tried to, there's a base to us defensively. I know we talked way back about this in October or November, we have game goals, based off of efficiency and things that we feel affect winning, that become kind of our core values, at least defensively. With that being said, and this went back a little bit to even last year when we went a little bit on our run. We did a little bit of some changing defenses late in the year, and we've done a little bit this year as well, depending on personnel, depending on situations. Adam and I have known each other for a while. We've talked, defense in the past, but I mean, and Fred knows defense too with his offensive mind, and even with Ernie as well. He's got a defensive background as well. So there's been an element of bouncing some things off, but ultimately, we do have a core value system of what we're doing defensively, and then, like I said, fouls, situations in the game. We have looked to change some things up, as you know, in the Big Ten. Then we're obviously going against some big time offenses, and sometimes you can't just throw your fastballs. So when the situation has arrived, we have tried to keep the other team off balance, and I give our kids a lot of credit as well. We've thrown some stuff at them defensively in game adjustments, even just a simple adjustment like against Wisconsin, going big with Blaze at the 5 and Derek at the 4, which we also did a little bit at the end of the game against Maryland. It's been fun to see the guys react to those changes and execute the game plan.
You were saying how many under 70 this year compared to how many last year?
Yeah, I was looking. Last year we had 7 games where we held the opponent under 70 points, and to date we have 15. And that says a lot. I mean, obviously points per game doesn't exactly tell the whole story, but you can definitely see our guys are committed to defending. They're committed to trying, to rotating, and being more physical, being more tough, and it's been a collaborative effort too. I think our crowd and our student section and our fans have appreciated the resilience we've shown on the defensive end, and I don't think I can underscore the amount that our guys feed off of that as well. And it's been neat to just see the confidence growing, not only from our guys but also from our crowd, and just the impact that they can make, and it's been fun to see.
Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Got a couple more minutes left. All right, Michigan State coming up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. It's senior night. Last time you guys faced there at Michigan State, January 3rd, 74-56. It had a little bit of a slow start. Michigan State was on fire to start, but what needs to change? What do you guys need to do to keep this winning streak going?
Yeah, first and foremost, our keys, our defensive keys. Each and every night, it's a monster that we're going up against in a high octane offense. Obviously, just looking back to the last time we played these guys, we had come off of a great home victory. Michigan State had lost a home contest to a Northwestern team that obviously has proven to be a very good team, but still had lost one at home. So there's always an element of how you're catching teams as well. And once again, we're going to catch a Michigan State team that's very hungry from their loss at Iowa on Saturday. Obviously, they're well coached. They've got some veteran guards. They really attack the glass. We know that. We've talked about it. They're a very good transition team. And they scored all 3 levels. They made the threes. And when we ran them off the threes, they made mid-range, and they propose a lot of challenges. And with that being said, our guys and our crowd, we need everybody tomorrow night, and we're excited for the challenge.
All right, and I got about 30 seconds. What about at Iowa? Because we won't have another coaches show before then. So you close things out at home against Michigan State. Then the regular season finale is at Iowa. And you guys really dominated that game when they came here. So what's the key to that one?
Yeah, like I said, 100% focus on Michigan State. Iowa's obviously high-octane offense. We did a great job against them at home. They're playing really good basketball, and especially at home, it'll be an emotional night for them as well on senior night. And with that being said, we take care of business one day at a time and keep working to be better, and just excited to spend this time with our guys.
All right, Nate Loenser, appreciate your time. Best of luck tomorrow. Go get them.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for listening to this hour of the Nebraska Men's Basketball Show. Again, 8 o'clock against Michigan State, the home finale. You can hear the Huskers Radio Network call with Jake and Kent starting at 7 o'clock, the pregame show starting for that one. All right, coming up next, we're going to keep talking Husker hoops. Nebraska women's basketball show coming up next with Matt Coatney and Amy Williams. Keep it right here on the Huskers Radio Network and buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. For Nate Loenser, I'm Jessica Coody. Thanks so much for listening to the Nebraska men's basketball show. Back with more right after this.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Since 1993, Dakota Mac has offered fixed long-term ag real estate loans perfect for any stage of life. The rebellious 15-year loan, the here for laundry 20-year loan, and the 30-year loan who thinks they can tell you a thing or two about parenting. Whatever your needs, trust Dakota Mac with your legacy.
Hi, it's Nick Reno from Dakota Mac. Please call me at 308-380-7564 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe. Think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet, too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Show with head coach Amy Williams. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Strome moving left to right at the head of the key, gives to Franklin, who moves right to left, spins around Widener, and Widener blocks it. Big time block for Allison Widener.
That is filthy right there by Allison Widener.
At top board, high lob underneath for Mendelson, catches it, and she scores off the assist for Busy Board.
I'll tell you what, she is making immediate impact.
Markowski, Shelley, and Moriarty. Huskers lead by 1, just under 2 minutes to go in the third. Heidi down the right lane line, challenges and scores. Put it up over Hatsa-Leonti. Shelley to throw it in baseline left, into Markowski, back to Jazz, three-pointers, you betcha! In the deep left corner, off the screen assist from Markowski. Bourne series for Nebraska. Heidi around a Mendelson screen, deep right side, Izzy, Bourne three, yeah! Betcha! That's a Central Valley A3 from Izzy Bourne, off the assist from Heidi. Stand up, Husker fans! This is a great win for Nebraska. They knock off previously undefeated Kansas, their second win over a top 20 team this year, and the Huskers in 3 overtimes defeat Kansas 85-79 tonight in Lincoln.
Here is your host, Matt Cogney, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hour 2 of Sports Nightly comes your way now, and it is back-to-back basketball shows. We had the Nebraska men's basketball show moments ago, and now it's time to turn our attention to women's basketball. Coach Amy Williams is here with me. I'm Matt Coatney. We will take your calls and your text for the whole hour at 402-413-2400. Amy Williams, it seems like a few hours ago I was getting ready for an exhibition game and trying to find film and failing, and now the regular season is over. Can you believe we have made it through another regular season?
It has flown by.
Flown?
Yes.
I mean, literally flown by. I mean, I think back on Puerto Rico and Virginia Tech and the huge win at Maryland, and then that great win, over Kansas. And there had just been a lot of memories this year, and you've made some big memories lately, including an 80-64 win over Northwestern to close out the regular season yesterday and to celebrate some outstanding seniors. I thought I was going to get through it yesterday. I thought I was going to do it without Kleenex. But then Jazz Shelley's mom and dad made that video because they weren't live. They did a video. And then they unfurled that roller banner at the end of my three-point call. And I was like a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
How'd you do with that senior day celebration?
I am always going to be super emotional on that day. I try as hard as I can. I'm not going to ruin my makeup. I'm not going to run my mascara today. And I learned when Maddie Simon was our only senior, I grabbed the mic live on that senior day celebration, and that was a huge mistake. I've learned since then to try to pre-record everything and my messages and messaging at Husker Vision, where we can, Husker Vision took I don't know how many takes because I had a whole box of Kleenex sitting next to me, even up there just filming. But we can retake it and retake it and retake it, and then that way on senior day I can just enjoy the moment. But I'll tell you, I still was really emotional. I knew it was going to be, and just I think that shows how much those three young ladies just mean to me personally, but to our program and our fan base and the University of Nebraska.
And we'll talk about those three players who walked on senior day yesterday: Sam Hybe, Izzy Bourne, and Jazz Shelley tonight. The number to text or get on the show if you'd like to call is 402-413-2400. We have so much to cover tonight. We've got the last couple of games at home. We're going to talk about the Big Ten tournament, which is in Minneapolis this year. Yesterday, you've got Northwestern, which is a team that you can't look at their record, I don't think. You have to look at Joe McEwen as their coach and realize whenever he's got a a defense that he's named that everybody knows is his defense, the Blizzard, which is a matchup zone, but the way he plays it is a lot different, that he's always going to be ready. And he's got some talented but very young players. And that game was tied at the half. And, I think there were a lot of people scratching their heads. I wasn't, because I knew Northwestern would be ready to play. But I want to talk about the third quarter by Alexis Markowski. She is leading the conference with 14 double-doubles. Didn't have a good first half, but that third quarter may have been the best third quarter I've seen in maybe since we started the quarter system. She hit a 3, she had a steal, I think she had 12 of her 16 points through there. What was clicking with Alexis Markowski coming out of the locker room yesterday?
Yeah, I thought she showed great mental toughness and just resiliency in that second half. I was really proud of her, particularly, like you said, in that third quarter and finding ways to impact the game. And she had some foul trouble in the first half that I thought really limited her from being able to make the impact that we all know she can, but she did come back and just really make a statement in that second half. I think, those 3 seniors mean a lot to her too, and so she really wanted to put her stamp on that game and play hard for those seniors, and I thought she really was able to do that, showed super mental toughness, and our team really needed her, and she stepped up big.
402-413-2400 is the number if you'd like to call or text on the Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Huskers defeated Northwestern 80-64 yesterday to clinch the 8th seed in the Big Ten tournament. We'll be with you on Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Central from the Target Center in Minneapolis. Jeff Grease joins me right here on the Huskers Radio Network. 30-30 at the half, and of course we talked about Markowski having such a huge third quarter, but lots of other players stepped up yesterday. What was your message to your team at halftime after you were up 7 and then they whittled it back to being a tie game at the half?
Yeah, I mean, we just really specifically talked strategy. We talked about getting a little bit tougher. There were some plays where we felt like we were getting fouled, and we're going to have to be a little bit more tough to handle that physicality if it wasn't going to be getting called. So we talked about specifically getting tougher. We adjusted and tweaked some of our ball screen defense coverages, and just continuing to keep our focus on dominating the boards. And I really feel like our kids committed to that, and that's what really ultimately ended up winning us the game, was being able to dominate on the glass.
Watching Jazz Shelley fill up the stat sheet yesterday was so much fun. And Jeff Grease even mentioned, as I kept talking about her rebounds in the first quarter, it seems like she had 3 rebounds before they even threw the ball up yesterday, and I was like, that's her 3rd rebound, that's her 4th rebound. She's been playing, I would say, more free and easy as of late. You might disagree with that, but when Jazz is getting steals and playing free and easy, it seems to be infectious for the whole team, especially Izzy Bourne, who's now scored in double figures 9 straight games. Is it the chicken or the egg? Which came first? Does Jazz play rub off on everybody else, or does great play by Izzy and Lex rub off on Jazz? How's that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of all of that, but for sure, our whole team knows that our team is better and we play better when Jazz is just aggressive on offense and continues to press pace and just be assertive out there on the court. And I think she's done a fabulous job in the last couple ball games in particular of really rebounding down and helping. So when our post players are doing a great job of wrestling around and fighting hard with box out positioning, and her player may take off to get back as a defensive safety or something, as she just really is pursuing down the floor, and I guess that led to 13 defensive rebounds yesterday in one ball game. But I thought really in the last few ball games she's been really sparking us in that area. When she does that, we can go play with pace. She really gets the ball and goes with it, and that helps us on the offensive side of the ball as well.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealers, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. You know, Amy, since you honored Izzy Bourne and Jazz Shelley yesterday, I was, and you said you recorded everything, was really waiting for you to do your long awaited Australian accent. Have you developed one of those?
I really haven't. I haven't picked it up. I don't even try. I think Izzy and Jazz would roll their eyes if I did try. But
okay.
I think one of my favorites from the message yesterday from Jazz's parents when her mom said, "Love and miss you heaps." You know, heaps. That's one of my favorite phrases and terms that they use.
Let's see. From our text line at 402-413-2400, Coach Williams, I just want to thank you for all of your players who have given so much to the program. And I don't know, guys, can you scroll down for that for me for a minute, because I can't see the rest of that. But basically the fan here, and I don't have a name on this one, they're just thanking you for everything you've given and all your players have given to the program. You know, our fans seem to be so appreciative of the character of your players. It just seems to come out. And then after the game yesterday, they were signing autographs for a long, long time afterwards. This is going to make you feel pretty good, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does. I think it's just one of the things that I love the most about this group is that they are just awesome teammates to each other. They're awesome, hardworking players. They have the character that we're looking for, but they really take very seriously the responsibility that they have as role models for the younger kids that look up to them, and helping those young women to dream big and to want to be and emulate their character and their sportsmanship and the way they approach competition. And so I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that yesterday, after a senior day win, when everybody's feeling great, them standing out there and signing autographs. But I'm even more proud of the days where, you know, maybe it's a tough loss and they don't feel like it, but they're still coming out there and giving their time to connect with youth in our community.
We finally got the full text here. I mean, the picture here, what a great picture. The rest of that text says, they have helped my 9-year-old daughter fall in love with basketball, and after a hard-fought win and an emotional senior day, so many players took time after the game to sign autographs and make memories that young girls like my daughter will never forget. Thank you. That's what really got me. I mean, look at this great photo we had there yesterday. You know, somebody has to make you fall in love with the game. I know you're a coach's daughter, obviously, but Jazz Shelley, as we see in this picture here, you know, as a father of 2 daughters, you're much older than that, no, they fell in love with sports because of Nebraska women's basketball. And when I see these pictures or I hear those texts, I think of my own kids. You've got 2 daughters, you know, who probably would be basketball fans anyway, but what does a picture like this with Jazz and, you know, 3 obviously young female fans mean to you as a mother, I think, maybe, and a former female athlete here?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it almost puts kind of tears in my eyes just looking at that, because I know how much those young women just look up to Jazz for the way she plays the game, but also just for wanting to smile and communicate and connect and really you get on a personal level with those young women. And my daughters, I've seen the way that they've responded, and they wanna wear the same shoes that Jazz is wearing. They want to just be just like her, and that's and there's nobody that they could pick to want to emulate more than those 3 seniors, or really anybody on my roster. But my niece's is kind of a funny story. My niece has a Jazz Shelley white sweatshirt that maybe her parents would say is not so white anymore, because she wears it like every other day. I mean, it's her favorite thing. She just wants to be in it all the time. And then they came down for our kind of Title IX Women's Sports Day event in the fall, both of my nieces, and the younger one heard us talking about Jazz Shelley, and Tadley really wanted to have a picture with Jazz Shelley, and my youngest niece said, "You mean Jazz Shelley, the best basketball player in the world? Legitimately, those are, kind of how my nieces look at her. But I know there are a lot of young women in the state of Nebraska who feel the same and really look up to them. And I'm honored that they do. And I think it's a great thing for young people to look at those special young ladies.
Another text on our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline at 402-413-2400. Dennis says, good luck in Minneapolis. And in the future, do you plan any trips in Europe and such? Well, you've got to add such, I think.
Yeah.
I think where you're going next year counts as Europe and such, right?
Yeah. Dennis, thanks for texting in, and thanks for the good luck in Minneapolis. We're excited to head up that way this week. But, we are very fortunate to, once every 4 years, the NCAA allows for us to take an international or foreign trip during the summer months. And usually for us, that's usually comes early August before the school year begins. And this year, we are planning a trip to Greece and really excited about it.
Good stuff. Hey, do you want to support Huskers student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. There's Amy Williams. I'm Matt Coatney. We will take more of your calls and your texts at 402-413-2400. We're going to preview the Big Ten tournament in Minneapolis and talk about that great win on the road at Illinois last week. That all comes your way in a few moments when the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show returns in just a little bit.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Hot dogs! Get your hot dogs!
Over here.
Hot dogs, sir?
Nah, but when does the Nebraska Lottery guy come around?
Who?
Well, you know, the guy who sells Nebraska Lottery scratch and lotto tickets.
Sorry, sir. Nobody like that around here. You need to go to a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Well, when does the chocolate souffle guy come around?
You don't go to many baseball games, do you?
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
The mark, rebound to Loenser. Loenser gives it to Griesel. A minute 30 to go in OT. Nebraska down by 1. 64-63. Griesel with the basketball. Drives the ball all the way to the hoop. Puts it up and in! Holy smokes! Holy cow! Sam Griesel!
Hey Husker fans, tomorrow join Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen at 7 p.m. as they begin their pregame coverage in preparation for a matchup against the Michigan State Spartans. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life.
When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Baseball season has arrived, and your local Cenex has all your favorite snacks and beverages for the game. So whether you're hitting the road for an away game, headed to Haymarket Park, or going to cheer on your favorite local team, make Cenex your destination for top quality fuel, your favorite snacks, and service from a local smile. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally at Cenex.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS.
The Lead Center for Performing Arts is celebrating 33 years of bringing the world's top artists to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus. Upcoming shows include Hamilton, Yo-Yo Ma, American Ballet Theater, and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Get tickets at leadcenter.org.
Woodhouse Nissan is bringing the dealership to you with Nissan at Home. Shop our brand new 2023 lineup online with transparent pricing and financing options readily available at your convenience. Once you're ready for a test drive, we'll deliver the vehicle of your choice to you anytime, anywhere. Plus, our sales team will be there to guide you every step of the way, answer any questions, and get you on the road faster. Start your car buying journey online and enjoy the dealership experience from home with Woodhouse Nissan.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig. Always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. Amy Williams sits across from me. I'm Matt Coatney. We're taking your calls and your texts at the Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline at 402-413-2400. We're talking about the final two games of the regular season last week, both Husker wins, and previewing what's coming up in the Big Ten tournament. I'm not finished with Northwestern yet because I really haven't talked too much about Izzy Bourne. I talked about she's got double figures in 9 straight games, but she's just playing so free and easy lately. I used to think if Izzy didn't start off fast that maybe her production would be down, but that hasn't been necessarily the case lately. And, you know, I watched her video and I watched her demeanor, and I realized when Izzy got here, you know, she still kind of looked a little bit like a teenager, but she is just such a grown woman, and not just on the basketball floor, but the way she addresses you, her demeanor, her leadership. But, you know, on the basketball floor, she's really become quite a complete player, hasn't she?
She has. I mean, just watching her development as a whole has been pretty special. We have core values within our program, and I feel like Izzy has multi-times been named our Husker Award winner at our end-of-the-year banquet. That really is the player that we feel like most embodies all of those core values, and she just does. I mean, she just has such a professional approach. She's very consistent. She's a great teammate. She's you know, everybody values the consistency that she brings, just with her mood, with her effort. with her work, just it's pretty special to not have any ups and downs and moodiness. And I think that has just really led to a balanced player that finds ways to contribute for our team.
Yesterday, she was in double figures again for the 9th straight game, leading Nebraska to an 80-64 senior day win over Northwestern. Okay, I've been waiting the whole show to talk about the Illinois game because I expect Nebraska to win every time I put on a headset. But I didn't see a 33-point win coming in Champaign when they just went in the top 25 after Illinois had already beaten Nebraska and Lincoln. What happened? I mean that in a good way. It was like 33-point wins, the largest margin in Nebraska history over a ranked team on the road. I mean, that's incredible. What a complete performance. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, special win for our team and our program, and I love, setting those kinds of records, but I think it was just one of those games where not only did we hit 10 three-pointers and shot it well from behind the arc, but we were really efficient from inside, and we didn't forget what our game plan was, and that we really needed to kind of balance that scoring with some paint touches and production inside. I thought we were very efficient with our field goal percentage, but the big thing was we were kind of in a game of outscoring through the first quarter, and then in the second, third, and fourth quarters, we changed our defense just a little bit, and I thought our kids really bought into that and were aggressive and active and making plays on defense and continuing to rebound, and those things combined just led to us putting together a pretty complete ball game.
90-57, Nebraska defeated number 25 Illinois at the State Farm Center to split the season series. A season high 59% field goal percentage in the first half, 15-17 on 2-point field goal makes. One of the things the get off my lawn guy, getting older as I am, is I sometimes think the college game has become too much perimeter centered. Everybody tries to hit the big home run three or throw it in the post for, in the men's game, a dunk or a layup on the women's side. And in my mind, I think the mid-range jumper has kind of gone away, and that's not all what two-pointers are. There's layups and everything like that. But is that anything you all ever talk about? I know earlier in the year you said you didn't want to be a team that relied so much on the three-pointer. But 15-17 on 2-point field goal makes in the first half at Illinois, that's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, and I thought, there were some reasons why we had some advantages with Izzy in kind of that forward position and being able to kind of take advantage of her ability to play back to the basket. And then when you have players like Alexis Markowski and Annika Stewart and even Maggie Mendelson, who are post players that can do damage in the paint, but also are very capable of shooting, that allows you to spread the floor with them, and people have to worry about them, which kind of puts Izzy in a position when she's got size advantages to be able to be effective with her back to the basket and in the paint. And so some of those things can make our team pretty dangerous when we're firing on all cylinders.
I'm going to ask you about the defense at Illinois. You guys came out in a zone, and I stopped years ago trying to call a zone what it is, because there are so many different kinds of defenses that look like zone. There's switching man. There's 2-3 with man principles. There's play zone on an out of bounds play and man on the left side of the floor. But the kitchen sink zone is what I was calling what you guys were playing the other night. I kept looking at that going, whatever they're doing, it's working. And I think it started with Jazz Shelley up at the front of that. I think it confused Illinois. I think it slowed them down, and I think it really helped your team offensively. Am I right on any of those, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really did. It's something that teams hadn't really seen out of us much, but certainly thought, we had some aggressive play, just activity. It started with, our Pirates, kind of Sam Hybe and Callan and Kendall Moriarty and up top. But when you have somebody with high IQ that's kind of also playing up on the top of that zone, but maybe in more of that pin area and can just be really smart about plugging penetration, but also, knowing when they need to get out to a shooter or, bluff at this and kind of just be active. And I thought Jazz did a great job of that. I thought really our whole team was communicating and pretty active and working on the same page, and did a good job with that.
Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. I'm Matt Coatney. Amy Williams with me on the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. 402-413-2400 is the number if you'd like to call or text the show. There's another game in which you got offensive contributions from so many people, but especially Jazz Shelley, who had 26 against the Illini. It's too bad that you can't play Illinois in the first game at Minneapolis, because she's put together a couple of monster games against the Illini, two different coaching staffs, obviously, but she had that monster game last year in Indianapolis. I go back to how free and easy Jazz has been playing, but she had such a good defensive game at the top of that zone. Did that impact her offense at Illinois, do you think?
I'm not sure. And that's one of those things where I think my coaching staff goes back and forth about what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Is she playing great defense because she hit a couple shots and she's got a little pep in her step? Is she playing great offense and feeling confident on the offensive side because she's getting tips and deflections and being disruptive? And when we get defensive stops, as kind of I alluded to earlier, and she secures rebounds, she can spark us with some transition and really get out and play with pace, and that can really help her offense and our whole team's offense. So I'm not 100% sure which ones come first, but I just like when both of those pieces are clicking.
90-57, Nebraska with a 33-point win over number 25 Illinois on the road. Bob and Lincoln on our Woodhouse Auto Family text line is asking a question about zone defense. Why wasn't zone defense used more earlier in the year? It's been very effective. Hopefully will be used more to block up the middle. So Bob wants to know about zone defense.
Yeah, I think just we've been practicing our zone defense, haven't really felt confident in our ability to finish defensive possessions in the zone with rebounds. Rebounding is a little more challenging in the zone. Plus, we play a lot of teams that are really, really good shooters, and sometimes you can lose track of the perimeter shooters when you're in that. But it's something that we really felt like we wanted to pull out at the right time, and it was incredibly effective for us in that ball game at Illinois.
So through the years, I have learned how to deal with winter weather. And if you go outside and your car is iced over, there's a lot of tricks. There's this de-icer spray, and some people use WD-40. But I'm going to tell you what I learned. The best way to help get your window de-iced is to fly home after knocking off number 25 on the road by 33. You don't care how cold it is when you're out there with your scraper and you're trying. My ice scraper actually laughed at me when I first put it on my driver's side window to try. It was like, it's not happening there. Yeah. Didn't care because we just won by 33 on the road. So you could bottle that and sell that maybe, like an auto parts store or something.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Hey, our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. No Allison Widener, no Trinity Brady, 40% of your starting lineup you started the year with. Didn't play much of the year, and you still got an 8 seed. You're still in position to do some things in the postseason. How do you feel about the regular season overall?
Yeah, I think that there were some really high notes that we're incredibly proud of. This was a very challenging schedule. There's no way around that. Yeah. You can look at our strength of schedule, and we were noticing just, when you look at the top 6 seeds in the conference tournament. We played 10 games against those top 6 seeds. And, some of the teams around us, Michigan State, for example, played 8 games against those same teams, and Purdue played 7 games against those same teams. And, so the schedule itself was set up to be incredibly challenging, and we felt like, our team was ready to embrace that challenge. And there were some ups and downs, no doubt, in this regular season. But ultimately, I think we've learned a lot about ourselves as a team. We've grown quite a bit. We've been playing some of our best basketball here these last couple ball games and putting some things together. And so we feel excited that the regular season has prepared us for this next chapter, and we're very excited about it.
That's Amy Williams. I'm Matt Coatney. This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Hour, and we will have more with the coach in your calls and text at 402-413-2400 when we return in just a few moments.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See shelter agent Sharon Lear in Papillion, Paul Hoos in Grand Island, or an Ord C agent Matt Woodward.
Woodhouse Buick GMC offers variety when shopping for your next vehicle. From game-changing cargo space in the Buick Encore to the tech-savvy Buick Enclave, we have a vehicle to meet all your demands while on the road. Or stay connected, informed, and aware of surroundings as you navigate the open road in the GMC Acadia, Terrain, or Sierra 1500. Explore our current inventory at our indoor showroom or online anytime at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade, so you can purchase confidently at Woodhouse Buick GMC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you were looking for with Woodhouse. Matt Coatney with Amy Williams on the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. Our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline is 402-413-2400 for your calls or text, like Roger, who texts in, says, "That's how it's done, Coach Williams. Leave no doubt as to who is the bigger force in winning in such a big way. Go Big Red all the way." What a terrific capper on senior night, too. Hybie, Izzy, and the rest. And the rest of the text basically is good luck in Minneapolis. So Roger seems like he's pretty happy with your performance yesterday.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Roger, for texting in. And I think our whole group is excited about carrying some momentum and going to compete in Minneapolis.
So let's talk about Minneapolis. In the time that Nebraska's been in the Big Ten, the tournament's been in suburban Chicago and Indianapolis, and they've done a wonderful job with it. But Minneapolis, to me, says women's basketball a little bit more than those two towns, if for no other reason than the Minnesota Lynx has been very successful in the WNBA. It's a recruiting hotbed. Just take a look at your roster. But also it's a Big Ten school in that town. So what, not necessarily your feeling, but what do you think the feeling is of the coaching fraternity in the Big Ten about the tournament moving to Minneapolis the next 2 years?
Yeah, I think that, there's some mixed emotions just because, as you mentioned, Indianapolis has done such a really nice job of hosting our tournament, and I think everybody really felt like we were gaining some momentum in that city. But I think there's just a balance of that and just some real genuine excitement about what Minneapolis can do. I think if every coach in the Big Ten was at the Final Four last year and was able to see those sellout crowds and how well Minneapolis did in hosting the NCAA Women's Final Four a year ago. So I think they know that this can be a really a great thing and a great city as well, hosting our premier event.
It'll be in Minneapolis for 2 years at the Target Center. which is a WNBA and an NBA facility. And I'm kind of looking forward to see what it looks like. Let's go back to the Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline at 402-413-2400. Speaking of Minneapolis and Minnesota, let's go to Tim, who's from Minnesota. Tim, you're on with Coach Williams.
Well, good evening. I haven't called too much during. Get you off speaker. Haven't called too much on the women's show, but did want to wish you well, Coach. And I was hoping to get down to the tournament, but because of my job, I'm also just kind of recovering from a injury and an accident here, so it's kind of been tricky. But so I'm hoping maybe Friday, depending upon what time you play. I'm not sure it'll happen, but did want to wish you well. I'm a 92 alum of Nebraska. Definitely been following you whenever I can, so it's been fun to watch you and keep playing hard. And I'm going to be pulling for you regardless of whether whether I'm able to make it down there or not. I live in the western part of Minnesota. Moved up here from Lincoln in end of 2015. So go for it.
Okay.
It'll be good.
Thank you so much, Tim, for that call and your support of Nebraska women's basketball. We really appreciate it.
That's Tim on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. We will have more of the Nebraska women's basketball radio show when we return. Stay right there.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You ain't seen nothing. This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. Like the Ford F-150 or the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger pickups. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. Based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Hey friends, buckle up and put the phone down. That's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Matt Coatney back with you with the coach, Amy Williams, on the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. Let's head back to the phones and go up to one of my favorite towns in Husker Nation, the former home of the Late Show with David Letterman, Wahoo, Nebraska. Let's talk to Rob. Rob, you're on with Coach Williams.
Yeah, Coach. Did you see yesterday, I seen that Logan Nicely was nominated for All-American. Did you hear anything about that? And then I was also wondering how Allison Widener's injury's doing. And I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Rob. Yeah, so Allison Widener is just a rock star. She has approached her her injury and rehab just with the same competitive spirit that you would expect when you just watch her compete on the basketball court, and by all accounts is just really progressing exactly on track, and we're really excited for her, and know that she'll continue to just be as diligent every single day as she has been to getting back on the court, doing what she loves to do, Logan Nisley, one of the two players that we signed in the early signing period, was a nominee for a McDonald's All-American, and is getting ready to prepare for regional and state playoffs. So we're excited for her and Natalie Potts as they head into the finales of their high school careers.
This has got to be a great time of year for airlines, because all the women's basketball coaches in the country are flying hither and yon to go watch high school state tournaments, isn't it? And you guys probably do a pretty big blitz yourself this time of year, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, yep, that's a big part of it. There's a lot of really good basketball being played across the country right now, high schools and junior colleges, and as well as, our own tournaments. So it's a busy time, but super fun time. March Madness.
Okay, so Big Ten tournament, Minneapolis. The Huskers are the 8th seed, taking on number 9, Michigan State. You get a first-round bye. You don't have to play in the play-in round on Wednesday. And it's an early game. Does that concern you at all? You don't usually play 11:30 a.m. games during the season, or is it we'll play anytime we're ready to go?
Yeah, at this point, it's lace them up. You tell us when and where, and we're ready to go.
I like that. Michigan State is a team that you have defeated this year, 21-point lead. And then they made a huge run and a lot of turnovers. How do you keep turning it over against Michigan State on Thursday?
Well, we're going to have to be much more prepared and ready to be diligent against their full court pressure, deceptive, utilizing fakes, being able to mix some things up the way we attack their press. And so we'll be working on that next couple days in practice.
And Matilda Eck, do you have a practice jersey for the Scout guys that has her number on there? Because she got loose in the second half here at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
She did. She hit a few threes. She's one of the best three-point shooters in our league, and somebody that we will most definitely not want to get things rolling early. Once she sees a few shots go in, she becomes much more challenging to guard, and so we're going to have to keep an eye on her. We have a senior scout team member that we honored yesterday at Senior Day that he seems to make about as many threes as Matilda X. So he'll make a good.
Is that Lane?
Yeah, yeah. I'm quite sure he'll prep us pretty well in practice for the next few days.
I make so much fun of Lane during shoot around. Whenever he does something, I yell at. I started to yell during Senior Day celebration. That's probably not appropriate to do that, though. The Huskers taking on Michigan State on Thursday morning. Jeff Reese joins me at 11:15 a.m. Central right here on the Huskers Radio Network. If you get by Michigan State, then you have a chance to finish Indiana. You took them to overtime when you played them in Bloomington. So I love the Big Ten tournament. It's one of my favorite things to do. You can just find me sitting there watching every game. So, Amy, I'll see you in Minneapolis. Thank you, and go Big Red, and good luck.
Thanks so much, Matt.
All right, that's going to wrap up Sports Nightly and the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Hour. My thanks to Mike Elliott and Cole Hartman, and to you for all of your texts and your calls. Join us on Thursday, 11:15 Central. We'll be up in Minneapolis. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Since 1993, Dakota Mac has offered fixed long-term ag real estate loans perfect for any stage of life. The rebellious 15-year loan, the here for laundry 20-year loan, and the 30-year loan who thinks they can tell you a thing or two about parenting. Whatever your needs, trust Dakota Mac with your legacy.
Hi, it's Nick Reno from Dakota Mac. Please call me at 308-380-7564 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
When you're a fan, you wear your team's jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. After a win, your world glistens. Lose, and the hurt permeates your soul. You'll always have a place with us in the Cox Fan Zone, where everyone can play and connect with other fans in a big group hug. See, in the Fan Zone, you're not some crazy fan. You're home.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharpe, voice of the Huskers. Say Fan Zone into your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit cox.com/fanzone. Go Huskers.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you.